Alright, so I'm back, and today we're going to go over the viewer responses to my last rant of the week, which was the upcoming toys. We got some good responses here. But first off, the current giveaway is underway now. We're doing Carrie. That's the DX9's Rodimus Prime figure. And we're a little over halfway there already. So, again, without me even having to do a YouTube video. So if you guys are interested, I'll post... I have Galactus in my hand. I'll post a link in the description below to my Facebook page. You can go there, read all the rules and stuff like that. And then, or you can email me, johngaringer@gmail.com, and we can get that all going. Alright, so, first off, we got Sammy Turnage. He was the winner of the last one. The Perfect Effect Leo Prime. He says, "Hey John, great video. There are a few things I like to talk about. One, Devastator. There are 6 versions. Takara, Hasbro are 2 different versions. DX9 Hulky Legends scale, both TFC and Make Toys Chug scale, Generation and Toy World Masterpiece scale. Now, to the normal eye, it looks like too many, but if you break down 2 Masterpiece, 2 Chug, 1 Legends, then whatever Hasbro and Takara scale is, I don't think it's too much. For the record, I hate Toy World products besides Hegemon. Everything else is subpar at best." I'd say they're kind of hit or miss, real hit or miss, in my opinion, with Toy World. Some of their stuff is pretty good. Some of their stuff is just like, why? Just why? But then again, my opinion of Hegemon is different than your opinion of Hegemon, because I think it's crap that they did all the clear plastic in the joints, when it would have been just as easy to make red plastic, just straight red plastic, and that would be a lot more durable. As far as the different scales go, yeah, there are different scales that fit different collections. I understand that, but at the same time, what I was more meaning about it is the fact that there are so many other combiners out there that need to be in appropriate scales. You know, Chugs we're almost done with, but still, we don't really have a Chug Abominus, because that Abominus is almost in Mastermind Creation scale, or not Masterpiece scale. So it's, things like that. It's just kind of like, come on, can we get something here and there, rather than one figure in all categories, 2 different size, or two different versions of each figure in every single scale. It's kind of like. Second, Fans Project Dino King is going to be tiny because they are pretenders. I think they're going to be about the same size as the giant in them. I don't think they're going to be tiny. Yeah, they are pretenders, but the pretender shells are like ultra to leader class size from what I've heard. And they're going to be like soft plastic from what I heard. I'm not 100% on that because it's not a set that I'm like, ooh, yeah, Dino King. Yeah, I'll buy a Monstructor when that comes out. But the Dino Kings, plus seeing as that they're about $60 to $70 to $80 a piece or so, that puts them in about the same price category as their Stunticons were. So I would imagine it to be about that scale when it's done. TFC's still doing combiners. It's Road Caesar. Yeah, but me not that big into that. As for what I'm most excited for, there are a lot. 1, DX9 Carry, yes. DX9 Galvatron, yes. Make Toys Scorponok. I was so excited for that. That thing looks so badass, but it's been, 2 years? Something like that? Yeah, over 2 years now, and we still haven't seen anything more. I want to say it's 2 years. I'm not 100% on that one. It's been at least well over a year, and we haven't seen it really go beyond prototype stages. MMC Overlord. I know a lot of people are really looking forward to that. He was not a figure or not a character in the show, so I have no connection to him. So it's one of those that I'll probably, instead of buying, I'll probably wait and use it as another giveaway figure. I think that would be pretty cool. MP Optimus Primal, yes. Generations Devastator, yes. 7, the rest of the G Creations Dinobots, so you're in for a long wait. See, 8, Spark Toys War for Cybertron Optimus Prime. Fans Toys Insecticons, and finally 10, I'll be able to get a Fans Toys Shockwave. Yeah, Shockwave. Oh man, I really hope I get to take a look at that. Question to you, John, and to everyone else: why do people complain about not getting new characters, and when we do, they complain that this isn't one of the original characters, or someone improves on its design and updates it? People complain. That's simple. You can't please everybody. Everybody wants what they want, and that's not me bashing anybody. Sometimes we get a new character that's awesome. Like look at Prime Knockout. He was awesome. Everybody loved that character. The toy was questionable, but people loved the character. And then Off-Road, the Stunticon Off-Road from Combiner Wars. I love that figure. That's a great figure. But at the same time, it's not one of the G1 characters, so people are going to complain about it. It's one of those hit or miss. You can't please everybody. I think for me, more than anything, things like Windblade, where it's like, okay, that's a new character that they hobbled together off of an online poll, and it just looks horrible, and it just sucks as a toy. So it's like it fails on so many levels. So it's like updated looks. Not always for me, but sometimes they work out. First Aid, for example, that's a great figure. I love that from the Combiner Wars line. And then other figures that are, just straight G1 redos are going to be hits for the older crowds. But the newer ones that don't remember the cartoon that well, and they read the comics, they're going to be like, what the fuck is this? Why is Soundwave turned into a cassette player? That's stupid. Stuff like that. You just can't please everybody. So yeah, you'll get, no matter what they release. If they release a Masterpiece Galvatron, you're going to have people complain like, oh, I want another Autobot car. Anyway, moving on. Let's see. What's wrong with updated looks? Because let's face, as good as our memories of the cartoon were, the animation was sloppy, yes. And I don't get the whole thing with the heads look like the original toys. The original toy heads, half were so tiny with no facial details. I think he's talking about combiners. All the limb heads look the same to me, except Predakings. I don't mind a little change as long as I'm getting the best representation of the character, of the figure, of the character. Sorry for the long question, but it's something that's been bugging me. Thanks, John, and to anyone else that reads this. So yeah, it's just one of those. I mean, the G1 was, they made them small for the heads for the combiners, because that's just how their combiner ports worked at the time. So that's just how it had to happen. As for, like I said, everyone's going to complain about something. Nobody's ever going to be happy. The MP Seekers look great on the shelf, but they're a nightmare to transform sometimes, and sometimes they're a little fragile and they fall apart. So it's got a hit or miss. Some you're going to love, some you're going to hate. Nobody's going to be so happy. People are going to complain that the Masterpiece Seekers are too complicated to transform. If they simplify them, then everyone's going to complain that they're too simple. So it's just, you can't win with this one. Transformers 758 responded to Sammy, says, Fans Project Dino King is actually Feral Rex size. Okay. Sammy says, Are you sure he looks small? Transformers 758 then replies, well, he's taller than Giant and M3 by 2 heads ish. So Feral or X at smallest setting. So yeah, Fans Projects is notorious though with kind of angling the camera. Um, I'm not trying to bash Fans Project because they do a good job, but they kind of have this habit of angling the camera just right so it makes things look a lot bigger or a lot smaller than they should be. So we'll see about that. Same with MMC. They were pretty bad about that one too. CM Funny John says, "Woo! Watching WWE while listening, just make a slinger." Uh, that's what a red bumblebee is technically. Oh, I think he meant stinger, because I was talking about the how we didn't get the stinger figure for Age of Extinction. It's like wasn't collecting the line, but it kind of sucked that they didn't give us one in the U.S. when they said we'll give you all the Transformers that are in the movie, and they didn't, and they couldn't even make a triple changer for Drift. Alright, moving on. Alex Dalton says, I'm looking forward to some stuff. I wish I could get the Collectors Club combiner, but it's way too expensive. Yes, it's way expensive. It's insane. Some of the pieces are like $80, $90. It's like, are you kidding me? That's not an $80 figure. That's barely a $20 figure at best. I'm going to get the Victorian because I like the colors. The G2 sets are going to be awesome. Yeah, I'm definitely getting the G2 sets. And I'll get Victorian just so that I can review it. After that, I really don't care about it. Jan and me says, agreed, the Minosaur from Transformers Mission TFM. Oh, the third-party Minosaur that's coming out. Doesn't do it at all for me at all. They posted some pictures from the IDW comics, so I think that's where they are going for. I think Toy Mecha teased MP11 cone heads, which seem to be just copies of the iGear design, but using the MP11 mold. Looking forward to see how they turn out when they actually get released. Great video. So thanks for that. From what I've looked into, it does look like they're just trying to go with the for the Minosaur, they're trying to do an IDW look, which is it's one of those things that I don't like. Because MP is masterpiece. They should be perfect representations of the character. This goes back to what Sammy says. Everyone's going to complain about something. But, if they were making it in, like, TFC scale, then I'd be all over it. Because it's like, that's not for my masterpiece scale. That's just another updated design. I think that would look awesome. So, there's that. Toy Mecha with the cone heads. Yeah, it looks like they're just kind of redesigning the iGear molds with the newer designs. But they're also selling them for $150 a piece, so that's pretty expensive. And it's also apparently a brand new company, so I'm kind of hesitant on if a brand new company can pull off the Seeker mold. Hasbro barely was able to do it, so. And I do mean Hasbro, because Takara knocked it out of the park. Hasbro failed utterly. Lionel Medina. Hey John, thanks for the informative video. I had a few questions for you. 1. What do you think about the new MP Blue Streak? Does he appeal to you? Do you disagree with its limited release? I don't disagree with its limited release, just because of the fact that it's an itch for a very certain crowd. It looks good. I think it looks great. So for those people that are going to buy it, kudos to you. But for me, I'm going to pass on it. It looks good. I won't sit here and say it doesn't. It just the Diaclone type colors are not my cup of tea. And then, like I said, for limited release, it's like when they said Skywarp is going to be a limited release, that's bullshit. because it's like, are you kidding me? He's a very popular character from the show. A minimal character that's not from the show, that's where I say, yeah, you could be limited release. Like the G2 Sideswipe. It's like that wasn't a limited release, and now they've got piles of it everywhere. The G2 Gold Bumblebee is going to be sitting everywhere. So it's like they probably should have made those limited releases. And then if the price skyrockets on it, TF Direct will have the knockoff there for like $35 or something like that. So, 2. What do you think about Make Toys Impihan versus Fans Toys Impihan? I like the choice of colors that Make Toys offers with the darker green and the lighter green color. But as far as aesthetics go, I would prefer Fans Toys because many of their releases resemble Hasbro, Takara, and more. As far as that goes, I think I said this in their Reflector video review that I did, but I'm not 100%. But I feel Make Toys is almost on that level. I didn't think they would be able to get close to that level, but they proved me wrong, and they are pretty close to that MP level. Until they hit that level, my choice, no matter what figure we're talking about, is always going to be Fans Toys, because they knock their things out of the park right off the bat. Everything they've done has been in the masterpiece quality level. Some of them maybe even slightly superior then. So that's where my vote would be, just because of the track records of the two companies. Make Toys will get there. I can almost guarantee it. But the problem is with Make Toys is they have to remember that we don't all have engineering degrees. So some things they do in their transformations are a little bit wonky. As far as the color differences, it's great that they're doing the two different colors, but it's two different colors. It's not like Fans Toys with their Tesla figure where they gave you the option. Like the figure had both colors in there, so you could swap the colors out depending on if you wanted cartoon or toy accurate. Make Toys is selling two separate figures at two separate colors. So, yeah, I'm not, I'm not as impressed with that as I am with the overall aesthetics of the figure. It looks good, but Fans Toys is just going to be better. And if Takara does it, then it would really boil down to who's better, Takara or Fans Toys. And that would be a great fight. I will definitely be buying both those hounds if that happens. Alright, 3. Do you think that the third parties are releasing too many Insecticons, like Fans Toys, Bad Qs, and MMC, like Devastator and Dinobots? Well, the Insecticons are getting way overdone. But at the same time, they're not nearly as bad as Dinobots. Dinobots by far are the worst. Absolutely the worst. Because just over the last year or so, let's start with the Age of Extinction. You had the retail Age of Extinction, then you had the G1 Color Age of Extinction, and then you have the G1 Color with the G1 Heads Age of Extinction Dinobots. So that's from Hasbro right there. There's 3 different sets from Hasbro. They're not the best sets, but some people are using them for their Dinobots. Then you have Planet X. Then you have Fans Project. Then you have Toy World, G Creations, Gigapower, Fans Toys, and Bull's Fire. And then there's somebody doing the little versions in Legend scale. I can't remember who's doing that. But we have 11 different sets of Dinobots, and that's just in the last year. So talk about being overdone. Dinobots are overdone more than Devastator. It's like you can almost not count Giant TFC when you talk about Devastator because they were released so long ago. But then with them, you have the Generations toys, the DX9, the Hasbro, and the Takara, which I kind of count as the same one because it's just a slight retool. And then Toy World now is into it. So you 4 or 5 depending on how you want to count that. So you got some different options there, but not 11. That's just insane. So the Insecticons, you got 3 different choices that are out now, or that are coming out now. And actually, Bad Cube's got two different versions. They got the Troop Builder versions and then the actual versions. Um, so that's four. Then you had the Fans Project ones, and then you got the Hasbro Legends scale ones. So I think they're getting a little overdone, but it's just what happens when everybody jumps on the masterpiece train at the same time. Everybody wants the same figure. Everybody wants to do the same figures. Four. Since you're collecting NP, will you get Scoria and other Fans Toys Dinobots and Transformers? Well, I recently decided, due to budget, to switch back to Chug for now. So no, I'm not. I'm just gonna go with Chug for a little while. Um, I will have pretty much all of my bills plus most of my bankruptcy paid off in April. Once that happens, then my budget per month or per week or per every paycheck every 2 weeks will go from right now it's about $100 a paycheck that goes to that I have set aside for figures, um, which isn't that much when you talk about masterpiece figures. When you talk about Chug, that's a combiner right there. But then once April comes around, I will start having, I'm gonna try and put money aside, but I'm gonna have 400 or 500 each paycheck to spend on these things. So once all that's paid off, then I'm getting back on the MP train as soon as I can. So I'm just taking a break from the masterpiece. I'm not, yeah. But that doesn't change anything with our giveaways because I kept Soundwave and Sideswipe to do size comparisons with, and we'll just keep the giveaways will all be masterpiece figures because that's what's popular with those. But a friend of mine is hooking me up with pretty much an entire Chug collection for pretty cheap. So I'm just gonna go back to Chug for a while and go from there. All right. 5. What do you think about KFC Blitzwing coming out? Simple as that. Just because DX9 has teased it already, and they've already proven that they can they can do a pretty good job with a triple changer. KFC, they're still questionable on whether or not they can make good MP figures. So we'll just wait. Let's see. 6. Are there too many versions of Scoria? Yes. Also, just to let you know, Bold Forms is releasing a Megatron in an MP10 scale that is a triple changer robot tank and gun. And it looks like garbage. It does. It looks like garbage. Yeah, I mean, after the Nightmare of Minnesota Motormaster, nope. And as far as Scoria goes, yeah, there are quite a few repaints. Necessary repaints for those people that are collecting certain things. But for me, no. I'm not going to spend $600 on Scoria. Transformers, I'm looking forward to is Takara Nightbird and Slipstream Quakewave, Hasbro MP Starscream, and also the Scoria and MP08X colors, even though I don't have the MP Grimlock yet. Thanks for answering my questions. You are awesome. Thank you. Let's see. Which Forms 04 Transformers and My Little Pony says, when was this filmed? Impactor, I'm excited for. Bludgeon has a new head mold. I know Bludgeon has a new head mold. The point is that he didn't have the skull head mold. That was my upset. He didn't have that in the first promo shots. He still doesn't have it. The rumor was that the combined head will have that, but it doesn't. So, and as far as when it was filmed, last Sunday. Matthias Morkabis says, maybe Dino King, but I have a feeling they will make a Monstructor version. And yeah, that's the big rumors that they're going to do Monstructor. I think there was the same molds in G1. So that's my question of the day. Are they the same molds in G1? I'm pretty sure. So maybe one of those, as far as Hasbro goes, nothing till G2 repaints and a big ass skip on that green and red poinsettia. Poinsettiatron. Hey, look, Hasbro. I can come up with dumbass names too. Oh, that was really good. All right. Man. Okay. Ultron T says the TFC Leo Kaiser team is the line I am most excited for. But it will be interesting to see how the Generations toy Devastator turns out. It was awesome to see you review G2 Jetfire. When I was a kid, G2 Jetfire was my favorite toy. He's talking about the Jetfire just reviewed a few days back. And I think it's awesome that Hasbro made Leader Jetfire transform to almost the same fighter mode as the G2 version. And I would really like to see a version of Leader Jetfire in G2 colors. No. I can't agree with you on that, because if they do that, they need to do Hooligan first. Come on! Leader class Hooligan! I would just, oh my god, I would just jump through the roof if that happened. I would just, oh my god. Oh yeah. But it would be really awesome if the Leader Jetfire mold was used to make Thunderwing instead of having exclusive figures combined into Thunderwing. As far as that goes, honestly, I don't think we're going to see too many more of the Leader class Jetfire. Hopefully not, because we had the Hasbro, the Takara, Starscream, Skywarp, Thundercracker. We've already got 5 uses of that thin Leader class plastic. So I don't think we're going to see much more of that. 5 in 1 year. 5 in 1 year. Think about that. That's a lot of figures for one mold to get used for. I don't care what people say. Mold degradation exists. It's going to happen. There are so many different characters from late G1, G2, Beast Wars, Machine Wars, and many other lines that Hasbro and third-party companies could be updating. I'm just tired of seeing the same characters being redone over and over and over again. Just look at Ironheart and how many figures he's going to be getting soon. Sometimes the Transformer toy market is ridiculous. Bumblebee. That's all I can say. Bumblebee. Oh my god, Bumblebee. I mean, there are so many Bumblebees out there. It's just insane. It's disgusting. And then repaints of Bumblebees in different colors. I mean, it's just, I can't, no. And Optimus Prime. Oh my god, Optimus Prime. Alright, 6-shot changer reviews. Hi John, good rant. I personally like that there are loads of companies releasing the same character simultaneously, because it gives us the fans more choice. True. It's better to have them mostly come out together so you can pick the scale and style you want. True. Rather than they are too staggered, and then you might want a different version later that you like better than the bot you actually purchased. But that's just my honest opinion. Take Dinobots for example. We now get to choose if we want a combiner in P scale or Fall Cybertron or Chug scale. It's great we have choice. Some folks are even mixing them up because it's fun. It's true. I mean that is a good thing too. Having that option, competition makes everybody better. When it comes to third party, Hasbro doesn't care. They don't. But yeah, as far as that goes, I mean, yeah, it's good to have the competition. But when we sit there and, like I said, 11 different sets of Dinobots, that's too many. That's just too many. I mean, I can't sit there and say that's a good idea, because at least 2 of those companies are going to go under because of it. Bold Forms is probably already dead. G Creations maybe because their figures are getting good reviews. Maybe they'll be able to survive if they can finish their set in a timely manner. Because one figure every 6 months, that's just not going to cut it, guys. That's just not going to cut it. Uko, I'm most excited about about PX's Fall of Cybertron Grimlock. That's going to be a good one, I think. Booksy 1A. My Warbotron has no stress marks, but I got the second run of it. Yeah, even with my second run, I still had stress marks all over. Especially with the Onslaught figure. Bellformer says, Wolgelton's Toys, I have no idea how to say that, WB Bruticus isn't too cheap, but cheaper than Warbotron Bruticus, so yeah. And isn't Porsche a company of Volkswagen? So shouldn't it be easier to get the rights now? They already did B. The answer to that is, oh, I'm not a car guy. I'm not. I don't know. I just know that's why what holds certain things back is that they can't get the rights. That's why it took them so long to do an MP Bumblebee, and that's why we'll never see an MP Bumblebee really statewide, because American Volkswagen doesn't want to be associated with war machines. So there's that. Charles Larson says, got the Wukong Brawn and Swindle, and they're good toys. I don't want to recommend a knockoff, but if you do buy them, you're getting a good product. Okay, good to know. STGM23. Great rant as usual. I'm excited about MMC's Overlord, Voodoo, Ratchet, and DX9 Galvatron and Rodimus. All but the Ratchet I'm going to say yes to. Because for me, Takara Ironhide is going to be the way to go. And you know they're going to do a Ratchet. If there's a Takara version of something out there, I'm going to go with that before I do third party. Exception of Rodimus Prime. Those four are must-buys for me. X-Transbots should maybe stick to Minibots, since they're over-engineered poly. Only thing I can say about that is Ollie. Maybe their Beachcomber will be good, or maybe it'll be like Ollie. What is in your collection right now? I have no idea. It's a rotating collection. I mean, things are going and coming so fast. I mean, that's just how I've always been. I like having huge collections, but then I get bored with one thing in that collection, or I get mad about one thing in that collection or something, and then I sell it all, and I buy a whole bunch of other things, and then, I mean, I've been doing that for years. It's like, oh, I'm huge on Marvel Legends. Oh, sell them all for Transformers. Oh, I'm huge in Transformers. Oh, sell those all for Warhammer figures. Oh, I'm really big in Warhammer. Oh, sell all those for D&D figures. Oh, sell all those for Transformers. Sell all the Transformers for different types of Transformers. I mean, my collection's always been chaotic. Chaos. I mean, that's me right there. Chaos and disorder. That's just how I work. So, to answer your question, I'm looking at an MP Skywarp right over there. I got TFC Hercules there, Soundwaves over there. I got a Hulk, Depth Charge, Universe Depth Charge. Let's see here. Death's Head, Spider-Man 2099. Seems you buy and then sell a lot. That's true, I do. I mean, that's part of my hobby. I enjoy it. I enjoy that more than having the figures sit there and collect dust. Is just like, oh, I had fun with this one. Now it's good. That's why I'm loving this whole the giveaway idea, because I get to play with the figure, I get to have my fun with it, and then it's gone. Out the door. Ever think of using your collection in your background? Grab some detals. Todd M. No, I'm never going to buy detals because they don't work for me. As far as the background goes, this is my collection. It's just kind of like in shambles at the moment. These shelves are from Home Depot. They're about $80 a piece. And they hold about 300 pounds of figures, and they're really super deep, as you can see. I mean, you could fit massive figures on these things, and you could do entire on one shelf. You can do entire season of Autobots or Decepticons or both. And eventually, when I have money, here's a good example. Is like up here, I have my Decepticon shelf. Which has got the old background that I used to do for reviews. So eventually I'm going to have that on all of these shelves, is that background. So yeah, that's what I'm working on slowly. It's not one of those like, oh man, I mean, I don't have many Transformer friends in the area, so they never come over and they never see the collection behind me. Um, so it's like it's not on my most important things to do at the moment list. So so yeah, you might not see much what's going on, but it's still in the works. But yeah, as far as the collection goes, it's just total chaos. uh, Transformers 758. TFC are making Leo Kaiser, who is a combiner, but really, how many people want that? I think it's 50-50. There's people like me who are like, I don't care. It's not a character I grew up with, so I don't give a shit. And then there's those people that are like, oh, it's a new toy, I'm going to buy it. And then there's the people that are like that grew up with it are like, man, I want that figure. Oh my god, that's so exciting. So, Generation Toys basically confirmed as Warbotron, and apparently that Minosaur just shown as Generation Toy, but a different designer. And they based it on IDW Minosaur from a few years ago. And it's accurate to the picture it's from, but Breakdown and Wild Rod are very different to the G1. I'd be interested, but really got Fans Project Minosaur for cheap at a convention. I think Unique Toys proved they aren't ex-Transbots long ago. I think MMC will do Monstructor as he appears in IDW a lot. I'm basically excited about everything Make Toys and MMC. Uh, yeah, Make Toys is coming back for me. Their Computron just, God, I hated that thing. But their visualizers were really good, and I think they're gonna be able to step up their game from there. Gundam Tabasco says, I can't wait for Fans Projects come Grimlock out and the unnamed female. I'm not so sure about the female, but the Grimlock looks great. Dinobot 2. I don't care as long as we get more Dinobots. Oh, and great job on the rants and reviews. I'm glad to see that your hand is healed. Yep, it healed real quick. Very happy about that. I was just like, wow. I thought that was going to lay me out for at least a week, but a couple days. So, thank you. Big Larry's 100. Cliffjumper and Bumblebee are close enough in design for me. The 80s Porsche was a small two-seater. I agree they probably can't get the license. They called it Red Bumblebee because MP takes accuracy into high account. They won't use Cliffjumper's name unless they nail down the look and license just right. You're correct. They said I want a third-party head and weapon kit, and I will use this as my Cliffjumper. Think half will, half won't. I would probably do that too. Okay, Big Larry also says Unique Toys and DX9 are the same or close. They always share the exact shades of paint, and they also share molds. Because, I think it was Salamar was DX9. No, that was Unique Toys. And then Splinter, which was the same mold, just retooled into Retgar, was DX9. And they've done that a couple times. So they're the same company. There's no question there. And I think I remember seeing on their Facebook page saying that there's DX9 is their new company. And I think they were going to start using that primarily because of the Predaking left a lot of bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. I think that's what they were thinking of, but then they just decided to keep going. I don't know. But yeah, they're the same guys. X-Transbot and KFC are definitely the same team. They use each other's figures and promos material. They both always include the exact same little blue screwdriver. Some people say Make Toys and Fans Project are the same, but I don't get that. That's because when Make Toys was first coming out, they said, hey, yeah, we're a sister property of Fans Project. That's what they said. I remember reading it from an article interview from Make Toys. So, unless somebody made that whole thing up, I'm going to go ahead and believe that. I know I don't believe everything on the internet. No, I don't do that. But this was an article interview from Make Toys, and I'm sure they would have corrected it. by now if it was not true. So yeah, they're if you feel the plastic quality, it's the same. They use the same plastic on their figures too. Let's see. I could be wrong, but they always seem to be doing way different style figures. Look at their look at the way the like the hands, the face, the paints, the eyes, the way all that's done on the Minosaur set, and compare that to like the even the Devastator or the Computron set. They're very, or well, actually Computron more than the Devastator, but they're very close in designs. So yeah, uh, the combiner scale the same, I guess, but the finishes feel different. The boxes are always way different. To me, the word "make" is make, not make. How do you know they are one company if you're not sure how to say the F name? Well, because it looks like make toys, not make. So, but they pronounce it make, so I flip back and forth. So I'm hoping that you're not taking a knock on me on that one. Dixon, Galvi, Bot, Love Apollyon, and Sonic and Ollie is, but Sonic and Ollie is so bad. So I'll roll the dice on Scourge if he's next as well. Carrie is a maybe. I associated the trail with MP Rodimus. With MP Rodimus has a fave childhood. Or has with a fave childhood. Speaking of MP Rod, way tougher to transform than Apollyon. Far more fragile, just say. If you had the first version, yes, I agree 100% everyone was breaking theirs. But if you get the Hasbro version, this is one of the few times where Hasbro's superior than Takara. The Hasbro version was, they replaced all the really fragile parts with parts that pop off, so you're able to pop them right back on. So it actually wasn't that bad. Yeah, he's still a nightmare to transform and get everything perfect, but at least when you transform him once, he doesn't fall apart like Apollyon did. Transformer 758 say, responded to him. People say that because the guy who makes Make Toys Combiners designed Fans Project Minosaur and a few others, and they have similar style. But like I said, I mean, they said they're basically sister companies, so that's where that comes from. They're maybe they've grown a little bit further apart. Maybe like the companies split and they just kind of went their separate ways. But I know originally they were the same people. Working on everything. So there you go. Anyway, I guess that's it. So that was a long video.